What's up, Taylor family? Today we're going to talk about how to root your feet for squats, for deadlifts, for any movement that requires your foot to be planted on the ground. So most of us, when we do squats or deadlifts, we notice that we kind of do this. So go ahead and show them this real quick. They kind of like bow out to the side of their feet, so they lose balance. They're not very grounded into the ground here. They're just kind of like floating on their feet. So either they're here on the outsides of their foot, or they're kind of forward and inward like this, okay? And so the reason why we have a lot of tweaks or injuries with your knee or your hip doesn't feel right is because simply we're not fully rooted in the ground. The surface area that you're covering with your feet have diminished significantly. So it's very important to get a full foot contact into the ground when you do any of your movements, squats, deadlifts, lunges, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to root your feet today. So I want you to pay attention to 4 points of your foot. The first point, it's very important to understand, is the base of your big toe, right here. Okay, that base of the big toe has to push down into the ground. So that's point one. Point two is the base, not the base, but like rather the back of the heel on the inside, right here. So those 2 points right there, here and here, have to push down actively into the ground. Now you can notice already these tendons, these muscles right here begin to activate naturally. You want that to happen. What will also naturally begin to happen just from these 2 points of contact, you'll feel your calf, your hamstrings, your glutes light up, and even your quads light up just like that. So here's me being inactive, here's me being active. Lighting up all the way through, okay? Now, the next thing to keep in mind is the third point of contact, which is the base, in the shape of the side, the base of the pinky toe, okay? That needs to push down as well. If you don't push down here, we just kind of like roll over the top. So we want to push down at the base of the pinky as well. So if I push down now from the base of the big toe, the heel, and the pinky, that's where I'm at. You'll see this muscle engage on the outside, the peroneals right there. It's very important in stabilizing the tibia so you can rotate your hip properly, okay? The fourth point is the outside of the heel right here needs to be pushing down as well. That just ensures you're getting proper engagement through your hamstrings and glutes as well all the way through. So notice, if you first pay attention to the foot, I'm going to show you a couple of different angles, the side angle and the forward and the inside. Notice the foot, and then I want you to pan up so they can also see my leg. So first the foot from the front. If I push down through all 4 points, boom, that's what it looks like. That's what the foot looks like. Now notice my entire leg is going to pan here. Okay? So the whole thing lights up just from me pushing down through all 4 points. Now from the side angle, I'm going to capture the same thing, but notice what happens to my hamstring. Right through here. You can kind of see the side begin to light up here. Show your back angle, same thing. It all begins to activate, super active. And the last one is the inside angle, all 4 points, pushing down the entire time. Okay, so both feet, if they're both grounding properly, it should look like this. Okay, it's an active push into the floor the entire time. All right, now, if you were to pan up, if I root my feet down right here, boom, active, look at what happens to my spine. I'm rooting down all 4 points, my spine naturally extends. So then you can go back down to the feet real quick. I'm rooting, and I slowly pan up. You can see how my mid-back begins to extend naturally in the right position that I want it to be. What does that look like? It's the position we use for squats, front squat or back squat. Use it for deadlift, for lunge, for quite literally any movement we do in the gym. We want a nice upright spine. So this controls everything upstream. So make sure you're rooting your feet down. So we're going to show you a couple ways of how it looks for the bodyweight squats and a bodyweight hinge, and then a lunge. So you can kind of practice those 3 things on your own. So the first one is the hinge. So this is the most crucial movement for deadlifts, if you're an only lifter, for almost all your lifts, and for any other hinge pattern. So if you're going to do a hinge pattern, the most important thing to understand is root your feet early. So if I'm digging down, I should be doing it now. Okay, so I'm rooting down really, really hard, and that allows me to do what I need to do with the bar. Just pull my shoulders in the right position. If you haven't checked out our deadlift videos, make sure you check out the link below so you can see what to do with your middle back. So I'm locked in here, I'm rooted, and as I go into my hinge, I have to keep rooting through all 4 points. It's very common for people to do this, to let go, or to just kind of like hang out right here, which collapses your entire spine. If you root, now you can actually get your shoulders in the right position. This is rooted, that's not rooted. Rooted, not rooted. Okay? That's important to understand. Now, the next thing to also be mindful of is that when you are rooting, it is a means from which you can actually rotate or twist the floor or spread the floor apart, however you want to think about it. It's that very important cue that we talked about before, how to create enough torque to translate up to your hamstrings and your glutes. So if you want to twist the floor, if you look at my feet, remember you can't twist the floor like this. You gotta twist from all 4 points. If I'm rooted down, now I can actually twist and engage and stay actually on the ground in balance. So here's me doing my hinge in balance. Here's me off balance. Okay? So that's how you do your hinge, rooted down, engaged the entire time. Now if you watch from the back, you'll notice something crazy as well. Back on my feet, if I'm not rooted, you can see what's happening to the inside of the ankle. It's collapsing. If I'm rooted, boom, now that inside is not collapsing anymore. Okay? That's how you root for a hinge. So for a basic lunge, the way you root is the same way, but it's on 1 foot. So if I'm gonna show you my front leg, I'm gonna dig this down actively the entire time through all 4 points. Now, if I'm not digging down, if I just step forward, I can easily collapse my knee inward and my back can hunch over like this. But if I think about bracing, like, again, if you even watch our bracing video, there's a link below for that as well. If you're bracing properly and you step forward, you root down, I'm locked into play. I'm not worried about losing balance here. Okay? I'm locked in, I can keep digging down to my feet, and while I'm digging through all 4 points, I can now actively pull down with my hamstring to bring myself down and finish through. It should look that smooth if you're really firing those muscles. Now, most people will say, hey, you make it look easy. I'm really intentionally activating these muscles and digging my feet down to the ground here, not just kind of passively going through the movement. So make it intentional, y'all. So I'm gonna show you one more time. My left foot, I'm gonna step, I'm rooted. I watch my foot here. When I step, boom, you can see the whole thing spread into the ground. It's a spread out foot. If your foot's like a knife, you can go in any direction that you want and fall over. But if your foot's like a spread out, like grounded thing, bam, you're not going anywhere. It's wherever you want to go. Okay? That's how you do a lunge. So for the squat, whether you're back loaded, front loaded, however you want to squat, Zercher, doesn't really matter. All the rules still apply. Both feet now have to be planted actively into the floor. Okay, so they're both planted. I'm rooting down actively through all points, all 4 points, and then I'm turning the ground. Twisting the floor, opening up the pickle jars, however you want to think about it. But those 4 points are on. If I am collapsed and not on, not rooted, this is what happens. My knees collapse inward, my back does this, I'm off balance, and I can't hold myself in the right position. If I root from the get-go, boom, now when I actively come down, it's super active, everything's on, everything's engaged, and I'm good to go. So from inside, I'm rooting, whole foot is down, root. Okay, that's the big difference. It's the difference between being able to keep your body in the right position, rotated, externally rotated, versus falling over and being up on your tiptoes. Now, if you're doing a squat, if you're doing back loaded or front loaded, just remember through your sequencing, when you get the bar off the rack, if your bar is here on your spine, for example, the first thing you think about doing is actually digging your feet down and engaging your core. They should both happen at the same time. So if I'm here, it's root and engage, and then you lower yourself into your squat, versus big breath and hope for the best. Right? So make sure you're rooted the entire time. So we'll make another video with back squat and front squat in terms of how to sequence this stuff. But at the end of the day, if you apply these principles in your squatting, back squat, front squat, literature squat, whatever you do, you'll notice so much more power from the bottom all the way up and even all the way down to your descent. But that's all we have for this video, y'all. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button. For more videos like this, comment below, ask us for what you want, and we're more than happy to show that to you. Much love, peace.